Okay, so what I'm doing is just going over the model and giving a few chips here and there, show some weathering and use of the actual aircraft. Put down the exhaust there, the windscreen. Now, because this aircraft was used within the Mediterranean, there was a bit of build-up of chipping on the aircraft from the sand and stuff like that. The Mediterranean sand can kick up anytime, anywhere basically, and these aircraft were kind of put through their paces really. How they're actually displayed. Just put a bit more on there. Top there, bottom there. So it's got quite a bit of chipping here and there. I'll tell you what I'm using. I'm using like a tiny little bit of sponge. I'm using. I think next time I'll use a better piece. I think. So I mean, it's not the best. I'll give you that. Fold that around and then do it from like that. Press a bit more down this side there. Like so. Don't forget on the underneath as well. And the air filters, air intakes. I think that'll be enough on the fuselage. You just want a tiny little bit of chipping. It's just on the wings there and the areas. Around there you mostly need them. Slightly dab it on and build up layers, I would personally. Like so, just a few on there, and tail fin as well. The tail wheel just fell off, but that can back on. Bit more on the end there. That as well. So right, underneath, air intake, across the tank there, exhaust there, so if you want, you just do some little scrapings on the tail fin there, like so. Underneath like that, around there, around there. So I might go over and do a bit more scratching afterwards. Put this tail on in a minute. And speaking of wheels, we're ready for the next step. So that's bound to be dry by now because it's quick drying acrylic. It gives a nice metal finish to it. So next off is the wheels. So turn this over, we have a better view. Now I've already made these and painted them in nice colours. They're actually really nicely detailed, so a nice wash, which will go after they've been glued in, look absolutely brilliant. Wow. You do have to line these up, which might be a bit complicated if you. It's easy, but once you get to know them and what the pieces are and how they fit together, you should be fine. There's two types of wheel options you can do for this kit. It gives you 4 because it's the G kit as well, but I'm doing this one with a tread on because it was the desert and most of them did have tread on. So that's going to be there. Take some glue and just go add a drop 2 in here, like that, and then both of them. Like so, fit that in. And that's nice, it fits in good, it has a good fit, which absolutely helps it when joining. So that's gone in no problem. Right, so the only problem now is getting these level, which we'll do like this. Put them on the side like that. So that, if you look at eye level, you can actually see how well the tyres are, and also if they need to be pulled forward or backwards, whichever to your choice. So that's my method of letting your wheels dry. You can do them how you wish, but that's my method. So I think the best, I'll start again. I think the best option to do now is just leave it to completely dry overnight. It is getting late now, so I think that's the best thing to do. Just let it dry overnight, and we'll get back to this aircraft and we'll start weathering even further, like gun streaks, exhaust streaks, you name it, we'll get on with it. So I'll see you in a second, but in this time I'm going to see you in about 24 hours.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, here we are. The wheels have set and dried. I have to say they look really fancy like that. I've also had some chipping and some weathering and sand and dust on the tyres as well, and also some exhaust streaks and gun stains across the top and the cowling. So yeah, it's pretty much finished now. The only thing we have to do now is the aerial, the canopy, which we're going to do now, and the prop. So, like I mentioned, sadly, Eduard have failed to notice that the difference between an F and a G canopy. So, it's very sadly, if you're not a 109 fan, you'll just easily make it, but if you're like me, you'll understand how this badly affects it. It's not a big deal because many people have made a canopy like this on this model, but sadly, me knowing it's there is going to annoy me. The problem is, Eduard have given you a mast set for the later canopies, which were fitted on the late F versions or the G versions. This being so, with the mast going to be removed, there's going to be a panel line here, down there, and there. On this type of aircraft, and along with the rest of them in the schemes, they were not fitted with this type of canopy, so sadly, me know it's there is kind of spoilt it really, because I know it's not historically correct, but still it's a nice canopy, and so what. I'm going to have to do some more research as well, because they had a different front canopy as well on some of them. This being so, I don't think this part here, if we just try and tip up, this part here was actually supposed to be masked up, so it's just supposed to be left out. So if you're doing this kit, do your homework first on the canopies. It's so sad. It's not the best moment to see, but it's something that will work, I suppose. So I'm just going to fetch the mask off very gently. I know how nice Eduard's canopy masks are, so there should be no problem whatsoever. They are a bit tough on this one, I have to admit. So, actually, that's not too bad. Just one nice long process. Have to be gentle with this. Right, let's remove this one. Let's just remove the whole lot. I'm just going to take this one off and take this last one off on the front, and we'll remove the main canopy. I'm just trying. Another thing is incredibly sticky as well. It's still stuck to my finger now. I've just got it off. So this one I don't think was supposed to be here. So I'm just going to remove it. I'm going to have a look and see if I have to repaint over it. That bit of glazing here was not supposed to be there basically. So I'm going to have a re-look at that and see what's happening. Take this main canopy off. There we have the inside, and I have to say it's a nice looking canopy. Wow, that's very nice, and the gun sight is still there, which is an important factor to what I wanted. So I'm just going to put this to the side. I'm going to show you what I mean now. So let's take this piece off here, take the two sides off. That one. And that one. As you can, I'm just having a quick look. Yeah, so that's a bit of a clumsy mistake Eduard have sadly made with this kit. I'm tempted to remove it personally. I'm just seeing whether it's actually worth removing. Because there's in the actual 109 there's got the front, there's two sliding parts of glass. So there is a bump there and you can actually feel it, but there's a bump on that side, but there's nothing on the other side. So I think the saddest thing to do is I'm gonna try and remove that, because technically that's not supposed to be there. So you can understand where I'm coming from on that. So I'm gonna have to, if you are going to remove it, you move this one, and this one down there, because that's how it's really supposed to be like. So with that, I'm going to go away and try and do that. If not, it's no biggie. I'll just have to try again. So that's one crucial mistake Eduard have made with this kit, sadly. So it's not going to be one of my favourite, because I'm going to have to remove that. So I'll deal with this, remove the rest of the masks, and we'll get on with the rest of the kit and hopefully have this little beauty finished. I'm going to do the canopy now and just fix that in a minute. So fix that. I did put a bit of spray on the top there to make the pack part for the aerial, but of course it just fell off when I was doing this piece of photo etch there for this version. That piece of photo etch is only for a few aircraft that's in this kit, so not all of you have to put that on, so you might have to check that out. So what we're going to do now is going to fix the canopy in place. So I'm going to have to multitask here. I'm going to have to let this rest on there, and in the same process I've got to take a bit of photo etch and make the actual aerial holder. Not aerial holder. It's basically like a piece of wire that goes from the back of the canopy to this canopy basically. I don't know why, but could be doing something with the aerial, I don't know. But anyhow, we're gonna make a start. Very complex piece this is. Be careful and take great care. Just gonna let that rest there, like so. Somehow. It's going to take a while now to let it dry, afraid. Yeah, that's not going to stay there. What can I do? That won't stay there. How about if I get to make it fall over in the process? Try and let it rest there if I can. Just try and get in line is the question. So I'll hold that there. I hate canopies. Normal canopies that slide back are fine, it's just this type of canopy which opens. Whatever you do, it never ever sits right. Never ever does. Another thing is it sticks to your fingers as well. Right. I'm not moving that at all whatsoever now. That's going to sit there perfectly. Like so. I'm just going to let that glue work in. Do its magic. So yeah, it's been an interesting build this has for this aircraft. It looks... yeah, it's my first Trop aircraft, so it looks good. Naturally, so there you go. I've also painted the wingtip lights. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but they're painted in the clear colours here. The X27 and X25. You can do them with clear blue, you can, the green actually, but I prefer doing it in the green basically. So, I don't know how long this glue's going to work in, but now I'm going to have to try and work out how far that this piece of photo etch is. So I'm just going to cut it out here, and there, should do, there, yeah. I'm just going to see how far it is. Wrong way around. I'd say that's about right. That's perfect. So, I'm going to let it dry. That's the important thing, that's this waiting game. You got to let it dry no matter what. So, I think the important thing is to do is just leave it and come back in a second, which I'll put that piece on and we'll get on with the final parts then really, which will be the prop and the aerial. Okay, so it's dry. Finally got everything done. So next piece is this little bagger here, so I'd say. I'm just going to cut that bit off the end there, just this excess photo etch on the end there. I haven't cut that. Like so. Right, so we're going to take some fast drying glue. Right. Get the right way what I want it to be held. Next big part, actually getting this into place now. Right. So you might just see my head sticking over. Right, so let's put a bit on there. Then move this up. It sticks to your finger mostly. Let's try it this way then. It's virtually impossible to get that in. It's alright on bigger scales, but small scales it's ridiculous. It sadly just mostly sticks to your fingers when you get in place. Great. 2 seconds. Great. Sometimes I have to say I absolutely hate photo etch. There you go. It's just fallen into place like that. Why couldn't it do that the first time? So I'm just going to turn it around. Right. That's actually perfectly on. Just going to put quite a bit on the end of this. If this moves, I'm going to flip. So right, so that's that on there. A bit of glue on there. Just going to move out of shot, so I have to bring it up to eye level. That on there. So that piece is finished. So there you go. And while we're at it, put this glue back on. Where is this piece? Where is it? I painted it. There it is. So what we're going to do now is get the aerial antenna on the top, like so. Just actually going to put a bit of this solid glue on here. Might have to give it another recoat paint. Just going to turn it around. Right, I'm just going to cut the bottom end off because it does not fit into that slot there. So just go cut the end off like so. Let's try again. Like so. Just get that. So just have to take it out of place, sorry. And there we have it. That is in place. So next thing to do is let it dry once again. It's like the waiting game. Make sure it's upright for a second, like so. And then what we're going to do then is we're basically finish everything off really. So the last parts you need to do is the little aileron, I think the gauges, I think something on the underneath the prop and then the aerial, and we are finished. So that is that. So I'm going to go to work on that. I shall see you in a second.
A few moments later.
That last piece, the prop, all nicely painted and glued on. It's fixed into position. Like so. And that is the 109 completed. Sorry about the silence there, I just had some in my eye. So there you go. I have to say, very proud of this one. Very, very proud. Wow. I have to say, it's absolutely wonderful. Everything's fitted together, no problem. Everything has detail. Everything is basically really good. So, for a brand new kit from Eduard, it's not too bad. Basically, it's the same as any other kits would be. Absolutely brilliant to build. See, just turn it around for you. Also, the it's had some EZ line in the areas, so this is my first time using EZ line. I have to say, it's very weird but awesome how that works. So there you go. Yep, basically everything's done now, and that's weathered, chipped, and well done. And it's my first proper trop aircraft of the desert scheme. So I have to say, after building this one, I am tempted to do some more desert schemes, but I think I'll stick to my European schemes mostly because they're my favourite. So really, this is the very end, guys. I'll have to go away and write a review, which I will put it up for Sam, I guess, the Scale Aviation Modeler magazine. So you may have an issue of it sometime, and well, if you see it in the issue anytime, it'll be in the build or kit review sections, so I'm going to have to write up about it. But more importantly, I have to thank the editor of the actual magazine for supplying me the kit and enabling me to review it for everyone. It's been a very fun build. I have absolutely adored the kit. I'm kind of blown away by the detail on this. Turn it around a bit more for you. There you are. I'm just wondering what else really, but that is really it. They've got nice chipping, nice exhaust stains, gun stains, a nice canopy, apart from that thing. So that's the only bad thing about the kits, the canopy, of having it in that state really. I'm afraid that's kind of a big thing for Eduard to do that. I've never seen a mistake on Eduard kits until this one, but it depends what canopy you're making. That's the later one that I've built, but it would have been better for the earlier version, which was on all of these aircraft that were in the box. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to write that up for you, Eduard. I'm afraid. I'm sorry about that. Now, there is one thing I've noticed I haven't put on here. Eduard supply you with a little handle in which you can have the winder on the side to start the engine, so I haven't put that in, so I'm not sure how to put that in or leave it out like that because it looks awesome, so it might go in the spare box. But apart from that, she is finished, and of course it's in the schemes of Marseille's 109, the Ace. So with that really, it's come to the end of the build. once again, end of the series. Excuse me. And again another 109. So it looks like I'm going to have to start on something else now, which I'll have to find somehow. So with that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've learned something. I'm just going to turn it back around for you. Then just like that. I hope you've enjoyed this and learned something about the brand new kit. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go away and take some photographs of this beauty. And I shall see you all in the next update, build or whatever video next. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Happy modelling, and I shall see you all again soon. I forgot to mention, sorry, I hope you've enjoyed the build review and you've learnt a lot of how to build it. If I can't help you enough, just ask me a question in the comment section below. So with that, thank you very much for watching, happy modelling, and I shall see you all again soon. Thank you very much, cheers, and goodbye for now.